Hey there, you're listening to an interview with Lobsterfight on Chronically Online Conversations. This interview was recorded a couple months ago during Lobsterfight's upstate New York tour. It was sort of an impromptu interview during the night before they were scheduled to fly back to Colorado. So, what you're going to hear in this is that audio mixed with my own recollection to keep things cohesive from the way it was originally recorded. Anyway, here's the W2CO interview with Lobsterfight. I am here in Syracuse, New York, with Lobsterfight. Who is in Lobsterfight?
Lobsterfight consists of Angel Sanchez on piano and some other instruments, and James Gove on drums.
I play the drums. My name is James.
Awesome. Do you want the mic? Okay. I don't know. I guess the best way I like this. I wanted to know how you would describe the origins of you or yourself and your bandmates being involved in DIY. What was your first shows you went to that was like, oh, DIY is cool, or like first bands you heard of, or like flyers you saw online that like piqued your interest and you like went out to?
So when it comes to DIY, we when we made music, it was mainly just like making music and just like uploading it. So there really wasn't like a scene or anything that we knew about. We didn't really know any other bands. It wasn't really until we just kind of like, I don't know, like looked at hashtags or just kind of looked around, really, like what band was tagging Pueblo in or anything. That's our hometown, Pueblo, Colorado. And that's when we would find like a band like Keep Sweet, or we found like a band like the Rage Tones that are in town that are making stuff. I was like, oh, that's cool. And I remember our first show really was like kind of the start of like, oh yeah, like we're DIY is cool, like we're actually doing something. Even though the show didn't, for at least me personally, didn't turn out amazing, it was still like a moment that was like, yeah, we're actually, it's like a first show. It's like, holy shit, like, oh my God, it's the first show. We're actually doing it. And so, but really, it's like more along the lines with being able to play more with like a band like Keep Sweet, like someone that kind of shares that same sentiment of what we're trying to do, and like those same ideas and kind of values. Being able to play more shows with them, it was like that's where it really starts. Like getting familiar with the band and becoming friends with them really starts that connection and really gets you excited about DIY.
So, like, for you, instead of like a like local scene that like kind of shows happened, was it like an online scene? Was it just like kind of like by chance? Like, did you like try and like strategically like share it around, or did it just kind of by chance just get a bunch of streams?
So when we first uploaded it, we kind of let it like sit for a little bit, but then I remember I would go on like 4chan. Yeah, like I would go on Mew and like kind of post it in like certain threads. Like they would have like threads that are like shill threads, where like, or they still do it now. Like every time I've been on there, but they would basically be like, yeah, we're a bunch of people like share your music and shit, and I would just get in on that. But I had no connection at it. Like a lot of the newer, or not newer bands, but a lot of the big bands right now in this city, like Your Arms My Cocoon, like Hey I Love You, Home Is Where, huh?
What Bandcamp tag did you use?
Bandcamp, we would use like experimental, like indie, like art rock, ditch emo, I guess, and yeah, because we would just post it, but we didn't have a target audience because there was no audience, so we were just like we would post it anywhere, because sometimes there was like on Reddit, but like Reddit, like it has its own kind of problems with like posting art and like posting like music, where like if you post it, they'll kind of like they'll just brush it off or like whatever, and like just really finding a place like where we can post that music. That's just where the audience kind of came from. A lot of people just gravitated towards it, really.
I actually agree with the sentiment of something you mentioned earlier about enjoying meeting new bands that you play with. I think it's like a cool part of DIY that it's really easy to like get connected with pretty much anyone involved, whether it's people who are in bands or people who book shows or people who make zines or take pictures or whatnot. Like everyone who does stuff is like kind of, it's on like the same level. There's no kind of unnecessary hierarchies. It's just everyone's involved. Everyone is making sure that everyone else is having a good time and can express themselves freely. And having that scene and space is really good for especially the youth in different cities, as well as just being good for like, I don't know, an outlet for people to express creativity in a place. Like I guess that you could say it breeds, like it like develops culture, perhaps. I don't know. Anyway, so you guys just finished a tour, a weekender, in upstate New York. You went to Buffalo, Ithaca, and then Syracuse. It's like a, I don't know, brief recap you can give? Want to go first?
Sure, a recap.
Yeah, just give a brief recap. Like, I don't know, you say whatever you feel like you need to say.
A quick recap of this trip would have been, I don't know if I have a recap. We played like 3 shows. They all went pretty well. Well, the Ithaca show kind of started off bad, but we made it through that. Our first show was kind of epic. This last show was definitely very cool. I liked watching the other bands play. I liked playing, and that's my summary of the trip so far.
Yeah, we basically, Clayton reached out to us through an email. I remember at the time I was on tour with another band that I mentioned earlier called Keep Sweet. And I didn't get back to the email for a while. But I remember when I did, it was just Syracuse. And I was like, yeah, let's get more dates so we can come out here. So, and when we did finally get out here, yeah, our first date in Buffalo, it was really nice. The basement did flood. There was a bunch of water everywhere. But it was still a really, really cozy environment. Yeah, Ithaca, we had tons of technical difficulties. We basically kind of quit the show for like 20 minutes. We were like, yeah, we can't do it. There's like no one here. Yeah, this is kind of it. And we recorded like a few little like goof off videos. But we eventually we got together and did like a quick 15 minutes on stage. And that was really the end of it. But yeah, in Syracuse, this last one was really special. It was really, really nice, especially because it's not really even like a venue. It's just like a hall. Yeah. And like a lot of people were just bunched up together. And, a lot of people came together just to listen to a bunch of cool music. And that was really awesome. And especially just this entire place is just really awesome. That's basically kind of how it went.
During one of the shows that Lobsterfight played on the tour, they played with this local band that I've been really excited about lately. And I wanted to know, did you like Feast of Love at the Buffalo show? What was your opinion on Feast of Love?
I think they were very, very cool. I don't really have much to say on them.
You don't have to say that. If you thought they sucked, that's okay.
No, I just don't really. Yeah, I don't really have anything. I don't even have anything negative to say. They were just really solid. They were really, really cool, and they definitely had a really fun spirit.
Yeah, basically the same thing. I really liked Feast of Love. I think their energy was really good. I think their drummer was really good. I think their vocalist really went out there and put all the energy he possibly could into the show. And it was really great. The audience really loved it. I really liked being there during the Feast of Love concert. It was really cool.
I personally think that they're probably the best band out of Syracuse. Yeah. One of the top ones for sure. I don't know. I'm a big Feast fan. Yeah, I just was happy that you guys got to play with them because I'm pretty sure there'd probably be a pretty good crossover between your audience and their audience. So something for like other bands that are like kind of that you guys are like into and like I don't know, I guess your sphere. There's like a thing where like emo bands don't like to be called emo. Does that apply to you guys? Do you identify with like the fifth wave label?
Uh,
Have you done this another thing? We did this before.
well, with the whole like fifth wave thing is like I think we did for like a while for sure, kind of like identify with the fifth wave, especially like the scene that was surrounding it, like the other bands, like Anno mentioned, like Hey I Love You, Your Arms Are My Cocoon, like these like internet age kind of like emo, I guess scrams, I guess I don't know, it depends. Bands that like are like mainly like internet based, and like we kind of got into that sphere, and I think we kind of identified with like the fifth wave thing because like I think that a lot of people are calling themselves kind of like fifth wave emo, trying to like get like a new wave, like this like new wave of like this like more eclectic sound kind of happening. And I think we did identify with that, but I think over time I think that like fifth wave is not like as prevalent of a term anymore. I think that we kind of still do like the eclectic stuff, but I don't think that we label it really like fifth wave that much anymore.
Yeah, I agree with what James said. Because the thing is about Lobster Fight is that it is inspired by emo. Like, like Merchant Ships and the Brave Labicus are huge inspirations. But it's really the entire idea behind it is that it's kind of something different. And it's because a lot of elitists and a lot of elitist kind of culture, like no one would even consider like Lobster Fight an emo band, and I think that's perfectly fine. I think that's if you listen to it and like yeah, this is not emo, that's perfectly fine. There's nothing really. It's something I don't even really think about or get mad at or anything because that's not something I'm trying to do. I guess with the band, I very much am attempting at least to do something different. And if it doesn't qualify as emo anymore, or for it never did, that's not really my concern. It's more as just post or even post emo. It's a cool label. Post emo is a cool label, but it's more just about writing music that satisfies me personally on a personal level, on a personal level. That's kind of the goal. Is just making music that I can finally say that this is good and I like this and I can show people.
Fuck yeah. There's a cat in the room that we're recording at named Velma. She is my 7-month-old cat, and she was attempting to eat James's hair, and it'll probably happen again in the near future. So like in your the other day you mentioned like kind of offhandedly, and I don't know if you were 100% serious or not, because sometimes you say things that aren't fully 100% serious. You were saying you guys are really inspired by 21 Pilots for your stuff. That was legit.
Yeah.
Okay, because if it were legit or not, if that was legit or not, that would still be cool. I think that's cool.
No, it is legit. Yeah.
Like what is it? Just like the two-piece aspect, like two-piece band songwriting aspect that like you were inspired by, or like word. I don't know what aspect of your stuff does that show through?
I guess in a very basic sense, that would be like a good way to start. It's like the two-piece. I mean, because obviously James and I are both huge 21 Pilots fans, so it's so like, oh yeah, I play piano and he plays drums. It's like 21 Pilots, but it more goes into like like I really love their self-titled record. It's incredibly eclectic. It's like rock. It's rap. There's like a lot of synth influences. It's just like a bunch of genres like really together. That's like that first one is really like the one that has like just tons of stuff on there. It gets almost kind of jarring at some points where it's like, there's just so much stuff in this, and that really excited me, especially as like a young kid, because it's like I would be able to listen to this and be like, oh yeah, I can pull apart exactly like where this genre's from, where this is from, how it would just work. Like it just made sense, and like the drive to like experiment and to make something true to yourself and make something new, and make something just really cool like that does start with just Torn Apart, because that's what Tyler Joseph did basically. He just, even if you don't like it, he made an art that only he understands really, and that only he is satisfied by. I mean, it satisfies millions of people, but you know, it all started with him just making something cool because he wanted to, and that's what I live by. Yeah, the thing.
At this point in the interview, I was attempting to make the 21 Pilots hand sign.
The dangerous band.
Is it? No, it's like the other way around. Yeah. Yeah, 21 Pilots are like a band that, like, when you say you like them, either people are like, oh, fuck yeah, or they're like, no, not a fan. But I think Tyler Joseph is a genuine musical prodigy, and I think he should be really proud of everything he's made. And he continues to influence me to this day.
When I listen to the recorded material, the way it has always sounded to me in terms of like music category and like the way influences show through, it's always seemed to be in the vein of Brave Little Abacus, but kind of done, 10 years later. And I mean that in more of a way of it's kind of the closest thing in terms of like instrumentation and sonic palette in like the mix and stuff. Not necessarily in a way where it's like you guys are intentionally trying to be them. But I just want to know if that kind of aesthetic was what you were going for, if there was just kind of parallel thinking.
I mean, yeah, I am very inspired by the Brave Little Abacus a lot, but it's just mainly inspiration. It means a lot too, because that's just a huge compliment. Yeah, Mass Dancers is just an incredible album. So it's Just Got Back. So that influence is there, but that's not. Yeah, we're like when we first started, that was like one thing where it's all like, yeah, these guys are just Brave Little Abacus, but like again, and it's like, yeah, for that first record, like again, but it's like
Advanced.
Like it's just advanced, and yeah, that's something that does apply definitely to our first record, but for me, it's just inspiration. Like I'm not trying to do, because they already did what they did.
Yeah.
So you can't do it again, and that's what Sun Soaking was a huge departure, in making something that I truly think is unique and cool. And so yeah, it's just inspiration really. It's not like when people are like, oh yeah, you're like the Brave Little Abacus, but like it's like new or it's like different. It's definitely a cool compliment. And like it used to bother me a lot, but now it doesn't anymore. It's just a huge compliment. But I do think people should take in mind that this is two different ideas, two different projects. And while I am very inspired by the Brave Little Abacus, it's not really like it's not that deep, basically.
Yeah. Like, I would reiterate. I did a fucking Elmer Fudd. I would reiterate that the Brave Little Abacus is like definitely like to be compared to Brave Little Abacus. Like it doesn't like it doesn't mean like you're trying to do what they were doing exactly. It just was like the closest similar thing. Just based on some of the previously mentioned inspirations of your music, I wanted to ask a Jack Senf band question for you. If you could go to a show of one of the first 3 Jack Senf bands, which would you go to? Which reunion would you try to see of the Merchant Ships, Midwest Pen Pals, William Bonney?
This is probably an obvious answer, but this is really, really, really. I forgot where they played at. I think it was in the East Coast, but there's this really. It's like short and sweet. It's only like 25 minutes, but they play at like this. I don't even know where either they play. I love this video though. It's like everyone's crowded around them and they're all doing their thing, and it's like the video starts like, yeah, this is the first song. It's called "If a Bear's Hungry, He'll Eat," and it's about this guy who works at a gas station by my house, and it's like if I were at a show, and this was like post their like first breakup. I think this was actually the tour that they finally like broke up on. But yeah, if I had to be at a show, I would totally be like just at the. I think. Do you know what video I'm talking about?
Is it in the garage or a house?
It's in like a warehouse or something. It's like in a.
What state?
I don't know what state. I wish I knew it. I watch this video all the time, but I don't know. I don't look at the state or anything.
Fully on the left side.
Yeah, Dwayne's like fully on the left,
Yeah,
and Nick's like
yeah.
You can't see Michael at all.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's that show.
I know that video.
That show. I would if I got the chance to be at one, I would totally be there. Do you have one? Or?
Not a specific show, but definitely merchant ships. And yeah, videos like that that's I don't know, that's why I like filming stuff, because maybe one day someone will stumble upon it and they will think it's cool. You mentioned like, so I'm guilty of this too. I have also, used to be like a 4chan user when I was younger, going on the music stuff. Do you think that Brian Wilson's gonna die on Christmas?
No, but he will die soon. I fully like. Brian Wilson is one of my biggest musical inspirations, but he's totally gonna die soon. But memes aside, memes aside, because I think he got dementia. Like he's like diagnosed dementia. He's gonna die soon. He's gonna die. Like all memes aside.
He's definitely gonna die on Christmas. I'm saying it now.
Honestly, if Brian Wilson died, that'll probably make me cry. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
When was he last alive?
When was he last alive?
Yeah.
Probably like the 6th.
Like this instant.
Well, I meant like mentally alive.
Probably the 2000s if we're being generous.
Oh yeah, 2000s.
But the 60s if we're not. Early 60s.
That's all I had to say about that.
Yeah, no.
About Brian Wilson.
Yeah, I love Brian Wilson.
I saw Brian Wilson live like when I was 15. That was like one of the first concerts I went to. 'Cause I was like, hey there, you've been listening to an interview with Lobsterfight on Chronically Online Conversations. Thanks for listening. I hope it could pique your interest. Lobsterfight's music can be found on Bandcamp and all streaming platforms. They have 2 wonderful albums up there for you to listen to. And you can find their Instagram at Lobsterfight, all one word. I'm Clayton of Chronically Online. You can find updates, flyers for shows, live band footage, and more stuff on the Instagram page for Chronically Online, which is Chronically Online abbreviated to at CHRONLN. Once again, that's Instagram at CHRONLN. Have a good day, and work as the world unite.